You got to your office that morning and let others plan your day. You were completely reactionary. You were not proactive at all. The most consistent symptom of poor leadership effectiveness I have seen with the managers and leaders I've worked with over time, it's very consistent. It's almost to a person, is this: poor time management. I will talk to managers all the time and they'll say, Chris, I can't do my job. I have no time to do my job. I have a list of things a bazillion miles long, and I'm constantly getting emails. I'm getting text messages. I'm getting phone calls from all my people, and I'm constantly having to do their job. And by the time my day is done, I haven't gotten any of the stuff I wanted to get done. And this is a huge thing, because when a leader doesn't have their own stuff together, they can't manage their own things, there's a level of stress that doesn't go away. There's a level of stress that disallows them from being a good leader. If I'm a follower, if I'm one of these people that the leader is leading, I'm part of that organization, I've lost a resource. I can't go to that leader because I don't want to be a contributor to all of that stuff that they're having a hard time dealing with. You typically don't see a leader say, you know what, hey, Chris, come on in. I have a bazillion things to do and I'm stressed to my earlobes, but I have time to talk to you. That doesn't often happen. What you typically see is these leaders who are completely overwhelmed, that can't deal with all their stuff, that there's too many things going on, they're focused on all the tasks that they haven't been able to do, they become short. They don't interact well with other people. They don't play well with others, and they become a lot less effective as a leader. You cannot be a good leader if you are constantly under stress. Eisenhower said, leadership is the art of getting someone to do what you want them to do because they want to do it. That critical part is that they want to do it. You're not going to get anyone to want to do what you need them to do if you are stressed to hear. So time management is the number one contributor to this. If I can't manage all the stuff on my plate, the plate becomes my focus. If I can't decide how to select the things that I have to do because I'm faced with all these different things, those things become my focus. I am just reactionary and I'm not proactive. So let's start by talking about a scenario and see if this sounds familiar. How do you start your day? Coffee. Most people I know, coffee somehow is the beginning part of the day. Now, even if it's not coffee for you, maybe it's tea. But my experience is there is some sort of drink involved. So maybe you make a coffee before you leave your house. So you have your coffee, you get in your car, and then you're heading off to work. That's mine. I always have my coffee before I get in my car heading off to the office. If I'm going to an external office, if I'm going to office at school, I have a coffee with me. If I'm coming in here, I bring my coffee, and it tends to be my start. Or maybe you're stopping on the way to get your coffee. Or if you're fortunate enough to have a cafeteria at your work where you get a coffee, that tends to be something people do right away. I'm also a social person, so I'll see if this sounds familiar to you. I like to chat with people. It's almost like I'm ramping up my day as I'm getting into the office. I see people that are at the front desk. I see other colleagues. We'll chat in the hall. Well, this stuff happens before you get to your office. When you get to the office, what's the first thing we do? We turn on the computer and start checking email. That's time suck number one, because that email is a major pothole in the pathway on the road that you're trying to go down, because the emails are full of a bunch of stuff and you feel like, I have to look at these emails and see which fires need to be put out. How many people think the sky is falling? And there's always one person. There is always one person that every email is urgent. This person can be thinking about you over the weekend and send you an email, urgent, all caps, exclamation point, underline, italics, whatever, to let you know, Chris, oh my gosh, this is an important thing. I need you to know about it. I need to know yesterday. You know, you sort of feel like, man, I'm just going to deal with this and let this person go away. I might as well just deal with this now. The thing about emails is it is creating a lot of distractions from your own path. Think of emails as being all these off-ramps on your highway that you're on. You're on a highway, you have a path, and you're trying to go somewhere. And when you're looking at these emails, they're creating all these other on-ramps and off-ramps that GPS is sitting there saying, Hey, take the next right, take the next left, as if every single one of them was important. Every single one of them is the off-ramp you're supposed to be taking. The next thing you know, you're not getting your destination because you allowed other people to craft your path. Your GPS has now been confused by all the other instructions that you have entered into your brain because of these emails. That's time suck number one. Time suck number two is the dude in your doorway dude. If you have your door open to your office, there's always someone that sees the door open and they come knocking on the door. Hey, you got a second? This is the got a second dude, or hey, I'm just going to pop in dude. And what happens a lot of times is I might have my list of things here that I need to get accomplished, but because that person's in my doorway, I just want to get rid of them. I want to get them out of my doorway, and I'm going to listen to what they have to do. And most of the time, I'm just going to handle it right then because it's easier just to do that. The next thing you know, because emails and doorway dude, you're at the end of your day and you haven't accomplished your tasks. You haven't accomplished the things you wanted to accomplish. One of the reasons is you didn't know what you wanted to accomplish because you didn't plan anything. You got to your office that morning and let others plan your day. You were completely reactionary. You were not proactive at all. And good leaders have to be proactive. They have to be able to manage their stuff, not just react. So this brings me to my first point of this video. You need to change when you plan your day. You cannot plan your day on the day. You cannot plan your day on the day. So do this. This is the thing that really changed it for me because I was the guy that I would put my head down at night and my brain was like, all this stuff that I needed to be remembering to do. In fact, I remember reading somewhere that you ought to have a notepad on your nightstand with a pen because if you think of something when you're laying down, you need to capture that so that you can relax. The problem was I kept thinking of stuff and having to wake up or stop falling asleep to get up or roll over and write something down to capture it so I didn't forget it. So what you're going to do is this. You're going to plan your next day today. 15 minutes before you leave the office today, 15 minutes before you wrap up work today, you're going to block off 15 minutes to plan your day tomorrow. In a second, I'm going to tell you how to do it. But here's the benefit of doing that. When you create a plan for tomorrow, you're going to be released of a lot of pressure that's keeping you from being present, that's keeping you from enjoying your time when you go home. Having a plan allows you to relax, be present with your family, enjoy your kids, enjoy your spouse, sit by the fire ring and sip a beverage, watch a TV show, work in the yard, go somewhere, enjoy a dinner, whatever. Having a plan releases a lot of that pressure. Now, I'm not silly here. I'm not saying that plans aren't going to change. But it's by far better to have a plan that changes than to not have a plan. If you don't have a plan for the next day, your brain is going to be, what else do I have to do? What can I not forget? And you're going to be stressed. So do that. Absolutely non-negotiable. Start planning your day 15 minutes before you leave today. Plan tomorrow, 15 minutes before you leave today. Do that. All right. So how do you plan? Chris, how do you plan? What kind of things do I do? I'm going to make it very simple because simple works for me, and I'm hoping simple works for you. Most of us have some sort of master list of tasks we have to do. We might have it on a notepad like this. It's really fun to have them written on a notepad because when you cross off something, that's cathartic. It feels good to scratch that off. I got that done. I've been using Apple reminders and notes and all these different things I've used in the past. I'm telling you, the most satisfying thing is actually scratching something off on a pad with a pen because it's not the same as deleting it. However, that's going to be another video someday. The only thing you're going to do when you're planning your days, look at your master list and pick 3 things you want to do tomorrow. Just 3 things. You're going to look at your list and say, what 3 things do I need to accomplish tomorrow? And you're going to pick those 3 things. Think about it this way. What are the most important 3 things you need to get done tomorrow? Look at each item and say, does this have to be done tomorrow? If it doesn't have to be done tomorrow, don't choose it. If you don't have anything that absolutely has to be done tomorrow, then what are the most important things to get done? what's going to take a little bit more time. Pause for a second. One of the things that we do when we're planning our day on the day is when we're looking at our list, if we actually have time to look at our list, a lot of times we look at the stuff that's the easiest to accomplish because we can scratch that off and it makes us feel good. So we get a lot of easy stuff done, but it's also not very meaningful stuff. The thing to consider here is what's the important things. So you're going to pick 3 things. That's it. So when you go home, you've got a day planned for tomorrow where all you have to do is accomplish 3 things. And you say, well, Chris, I have a hell of a lot more than 3 things to do. I get it. But if you focus on the entire list, you're going to overwhelm yourself. This allows your brain to focus on 3 things. You can get those 3 things done. Consider Doorway Dude. Doorway Dude comes to your office tomorrow morning. You have your 3 things picked. Doorway Dude says, hey, Chris, I got this thing to handle. Well, now you have the ability to consider what Doorway Dude is asking for by saying, is what he needs more important than any of the 3 things that I need to do? Maybe it's more important than the 3rd thing, but not more important than the first 2 things. That way you can say to Doorway Dude, hey, I hear you. I have these 2 things I need to get done before I help you. When I get these 2 things done, I'll come over and see you. Or when I get this 1 thing done, maybe his thing is more important than number 2 and 3 on your list, so you can fit it in. But it's a lot easier to manage your list by comparing your 3 things versus that 1 thing at the time, rather than comparing your whole list. Because if you're going to go through your whole list, it's just easier for to say, hey, I just handle what you're asking me for right now. Same with email sky is falling person. If someone's sending you an urgent email, I got to handle this right now. Well, is that more important than your 3 things? Is it more important than all 3 of your things? That allows you to deal with it. The brain is much more capable of focusing on 3 things than 3 pages of items on a legal pad. It just is. You focus on a couple of things. Athletes know this. Athletes know this. Golfers know this. If you're thinking of every single particular thing you need to think of, your shot thoughts are just going to be nuts. You focus on a couple of things. Now, when you get done with those 3 things, what do? Now you go do the process over again. You block yourself 10 minutes during the day. Shut your door. Take your lunch. Refresh your coffee. Sit there with your list. Pick 3 more things. And for the rest of your day, those 3 things are your new 3 things. You're always managing 3 things. You're never managing 3 pages. If you follow these things, number 1, start planning your day today for tomorrow. Don't plan your day today. Plan tomorrow at the end of the day, and you're going to find that you're going to be a lot more engaged with the people you love. You're going to enjoy your life. When you get home, you're going to be much more functional, much more effective as a leader. Your people are going to notice a difference. They're going to start understanding, hey, he's willing to help me. And they're going to be able to say, okay, he said I've got 2 things ahead of my thing. And if you follow through and say, okay, I got my 2 things done, I'm ready to help you, this is what you do. Start doing that today. Let's go.